Hello, my name is Darius Kennedy and this is your Brinklow Black History Spotlight. Since the very first enslaved Africans stepped foot on Virginia soil, there was always a spirit of rebellion. While old folk tales portrayed the slave as submissive and passive, the truth was very different. The African slave's history is full of stories of rebellion, revolt, and when they could, they ran for freedom. Have you ever wondered how we know of the many slaves that Harriet Tubman helped escape through the Underground Railroad? The information about the hundreds of slaves who traversed this hidden system was carefully tracked and compiled by a young black man named William Still. His father was a free slave and his mother was a runaway from the slave state of Maryland. Twice she had escaped with her 4 children, only to be caught and sold on the eastern shore. However, she escaped again, taking her 2 daughters with her and meeting up with her husband in New Jersey. Unfortunately, her 2 oldest boys remained enslaved and eventually were sold into the Deep South. She had 14 more children, with William Still being the youngest. Though they were all born free under Maryland law, since his mother was a fugitive, all of her children were legally slaves. In 1847, Still began working for the Philadelphia Society of the Abolition of Slavery. It was here that he began to see the important work of the Underground Railroad. He could always tell when somebody just made their escape. They were usually disheveled and always looking over their shoulder. In order for them to be successful in their new life, they had to assimilate. Oftentimes, they would arrive at the Anti-Slavery Society looking for long-lost parents or siblings. William Still knew that tracking these people and recording their stories was so important to the future of blacks in America. He began to keep careful hidden records. He knew it would be essential in aiding the future reunion of family members. At one point, a man by the name of Peter Still sought help at the Pennsylvania Anti-Slavery Society, seeking to find his parents or other members of his family. He met William Still there, but had no idea that it was his brother. As Still listened to Peter's story, he recognized the history his mother had told him so many times. He learned that his brother Levine had been whipped to death for visiting his wife without permission. Later, Peter and his mother were reunited after having been separated for 42 years. It was stories like these that motivated William Still to continue the work. He interviewed over 1,000 ex-slaves and helped as many as 800 escape to freedom. For each person he interviewed, he kept a small biography of each, their destinations, plans, along with their new names. From the Deep South to Maryland, to Pennsylvania, to New York, and finally to Canada, Still helped ex-slaves establish new lives in a new world. Thank you, William Still, for being a meticulous note-taker. Because of you, we know our people's stories, and so many families were reunited.